Here in the workspace, we have the basic HTML structure here. We have linked the HTML file to the CSS file. We give the website to have a title of the Palestinian people. Here we have a folder called images, which contains the list of images we're going to use on the site. We have a HTML file and a CSS file. Now, within the body tag, the first thing we do, we create a div with a class name of container. The main container is going to be the entire body holding the website. Within it, we create a header tag. Below the header tag, we create a div with the class name of hero. And the hero is going to hold the content of the website. Within it, we insert a div with a class name of content and a div with a class name of gallery. We have inserted Google font. For the universal styling, we give it a margin of 0, a padding of 0, a box sizing of border box, and a font family of Roboto and Poppins. We give the HTML tag a font size of 62.5%, which is going to make 1 rem and 1 em to be equals to 10 pixels, which makes the calculation much more easier. The body comes with a background color of white. We're going to start with mobile device. And to do that now, we're going to use grid to create the layout of how the website is going to look like. So we're going to target each and every div we created and give it a background color. We give the main container a background color, the hero a background color, the content a background color, and also the gallery is also having its background color, just to point out how the structure of the website is going to look like. Now, in the main container, first we give it a width of 100%, a height of 100 VH. We make it to be display of grid and give it a grid template columns of 1 FR, which is going to be 1 column, and a row for the first row to be 50 pixels and the second row to be 1 FR, which is going to consume the rest of the space. The blue color is the header and the gray color is the hero section. The hero section should consume a column from the first column to the last column. Now we target the hero. We give it a grid column. It should contain the first column to the last column. While in the grid row, it should start from the second row and end in the last row. The hero section also has children in it. So let's make them to be display of grid. We give it a grid template column of 1 FR, which is 1 column. We make the grid template row to be 1 FR, 1 FR, which is equal rows. Now this is what we have here from the website. As you can see how responsive it is. Now let's add content to the website. In the HTML, within the head tag, we create a nav tag. We insert a div with a class name of logo with a text of Code.Dev Academy. We highlight the Academy in a span, with the aim of it having a different color. We create an other list items. The first list items to have a text of home. We duplicate it several times, and each list item to have a different text. Now below the other list items, we create a button. We insert an image in the button, and we insert a text in the button. The text goes by donate now. Back in the CSS, we make the header a position of fixed, giving it a top of 0, a left of 0, and a width to be 100% of the body. We make it to be above everything with a z-index of 99. Now we target the nav. We give it a breathing space using padding, 1em and a 2.5em, making the background color to be transparent and flexing all the items in the nav with a display of flexed. We align all the items using align item center and giving a space between them with justify content. Now, this is actually what we're having from the browser. Let's take down all the background colors we've inserted to have a plain background so that we can see what we're working on. Target the logo. Give the logo a font size of 1.3 rem with a font weight of bold and giving the logo to have a text color of gray. For the highlighted text in the logo, give it a different color. This is what we're having here from the browser. Target on other list items, making all the list items to be display of flex with a gap between them of 2 rem. Making the other list items to have a padding of 1em. Give it a background color of red with making the edges of it to be curved with a border radius of 1 m. We get this for now. Back to the styling. Target the li using CSS nesting. Make the list style to be none to take out all the dirties. Target the text, which are the links, and give it a text decoration of none, making the font size to be 1 rem and the font weight to be bold, and setting the color of the text to white. When you hover on the text, let's add a hover effect on it, making the border block end to be 2 pixels solid white. This is what we're having here. Now everything is set. All we need now is to go back to the UL and give it a display of none, because we want it to appear on a bigger screen, not on the mobile size. The button in the header needs to have a style. Let's add styling to the button. Give the button to have a padding. In this case, we're having a 0.8 m from the top and bottom and 1 m from the left and right, making the borders of the button to be none, having it to have a background color. We make the edges of the button to be curved with a 1 m. We make all the items in the button to be flex, align item center, and we have add a cursor pointer on the button. We targeted the text in the button and give it a font size of 1 rem, a font weight to be bold, a color of the text to be white, and took out the underlines using text decoration of none. This is what we have here from the button. In the HTML here, let's add an image to the button. This is what the image looks like, but let's add styling to it. Using CSS nesting, target the img, give it a weight of 15 pixel, a height of 15 pixel, having both equal size in the weight and in the height. Make a space from the left of the image with a 2 pixel. Doing that, this is how the button now looks like. Hey, if you have been trying to learn web development but HTML and CSS keep confusing you, then this is for you. I have put together a complete HTML and CSS course that takes you from zero to building a real website step by step. No boring theories, just projects and clear explanation. Some of the insight you will get from this course, you're going to have a clear lesson that breaks everything down for you. You're also going to work with real projects that you can actually add to your portfolio. Not just that, you're going to get tips and best practice that pro developers use. And one of the best part is you're going to get access to Code.Dev Academy Discord community, which you're going to use it to get help whenever you're stuck. So if you've been looking for one place that gives you everything to master HTML and CSS with confidence, then this course is that package. Start learning today and keep building from here. The link is in the description box. Let's give the hero section to have a max weight, the maximum weight we want it to consume, which is 100%. We give it a padding of 1 m. Let's style the contents div, which is going to hold all our H1 paragraphs and buttons. Let's give it a padding of 10 pixels from the top and bottom and 20 pixels from the left and right. Let's add some information to the content div. I pasted a H1, having a text of change lives. Within it, there's an image and the continuation of the text. This is what I pasted looks like. There are 3 texts, a text, an image, and a text again. Let's add styling to it. We targeted the H1. We give it a font size using clamp. The 2 rem stands for the lowest size the text can go. The 6 rem stands for the highest size text can go. And the 5 viewport weight stand for the font size we give it using the screen. Giving it a font weight of bold, a color of the text to be black. From the HTML here, we have a text that was highlighted with the aim of giving it a different color. Back in the CSS, we highlight the span and give it a different color of red. When you save, this is what it looks. Let's add styling to the image. Given the image to have a weight of 40 pixel and a height of 40 pixel, this is what it looks like now. With the help of clamp, the text now is responsive, having a maximum size and a minimum size. Now, below the H1, we insert a paragraph again. There is no childhood for us inside the desperate situation for the Palestinian children. We target the content and target the paragraph. We give the paragraph to have a font size of 1.2 rem, making it to have a font weight of 600 and a text color of black. A margin from the top of 10 pixels and a maximum width of 400 pixels. Create a div with a class name of btn and insert a button inside it. The first button has a text of discover now. Below it is an image of a play PNG icon. Back in the CSS, this is what it looks like. The button and the icon. Target the .btn and give it a space from the top of 10 pixels, making both the items to be flex and a gap between them of 0.7 rem. Aligning them in the center with align items of center. Target the button and add some style into it. Given the button to have a 0.8 m from the top and bottom and 1.3 m from the left and right, making it a border of none with a background color. Making the edges of the button to be curved with a 1 m and a font size of the button to be 1.3 rem. A font width to be bold and the color of the text to be white, making a cursor pointer on the button. This is what the button looks like. Now, target the play icon here and add some style into it. The first thing we do for it is a width and a height of 30 pixels, a background color and border radius of 50 pixels, which makes it round. This is what it looks like. Let's add a hover effect on the button, making the opacity to be 0.9 when you hover on it. Now, next up is the gallery section. Target the gallery here and give it a background image on it, with a no repeat and the focus of the image to be in the center, making the background size to be cover and a position of relative because we are going to add a frame on it. We give it a border radius of 2 m and we add animation to the gallery because we want different images to be changing on this same image. Now this is what it looks like. Head back to the CSS. We give a pseudo element on the gallery. We give it a content and position of absolute, a top of 0, left of 0, width and height to be 100%, and we add a background image on top of this our image here. When we do that now, making a background size of cover, and here is the key property, mix blend mode screen. With this is actually what we're having here. More style into it. Target the animation here and let's add some animation to this our slider, to this our image. We're going to say now, first at 0%, change the background image to image 1, making it a background size of cover. At 40% here, change the background image to image 2, making the background size of cover. At 70%, change the background image to 3, making the background size cover. At 100%, change the background image to image 4. Doing this, now this is what the result looks like. We need to adjust the style on bigger screen size. Let's head into media queries for that. We're going to say at minimum width of 502 pixels. Let's make the hero to have a grid template column of now 2 columns. The first column is having a 1FR and the second column is having a 250 pixel. And let's make the gallery to have a border height of 50%. Now, when we do that now, this is now what it looks like. Let's add more changes to it. At 560 pixels, let's make some adjustments on it. We want the unordered list items now to appear. 560 pixels, this is what is happening. We make the hero now to have 2 columns with equal size, 1FR, 1FR. We adjust the gallery, making it a pattern of 0, top and bottom, and 2M from the left and right, making the border radius of 1M. This is actually what we're having here. At small screen size, this is what it looks like. At a Samsung Galaxy S20, this is what it looks like. Now everything here is responsive. With that, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you have enjoyed this video.